Carol Creighton Burnett was born April 26 of 1933 at Nick's Hospital in San Antonio, Texas. The daughter of Ina Louise Creighton, a publicity writer for the movie studios, and Joseph Thomas Burnett, a movie theater manager. Her parents divorced in the late 30s. Both parents independently moved to Hollywood, and Burnett moved with her grandmother to a one-room apartment near her mother. They lived in an impoverished area of Hollywood, California, in a boarding house, with Burnett's younger half-sister, Chrissy. When Burnett was in second grade, she briefly invented an imaginary twin sister named Karen, with Shirley Temple-like dimples. She later recalled that motivated her to further her pretense. She fooled the other boarders in the rooming house where she lived by frantically switching clothes and dashing in and out of the house by the fire escape and the front door. Then I became exhausted and Karen mysteriously vanished. When Burnett was 9, she taught herself how to do the Tarzan yell, which she realized years later was a good vocal exercise for volume, and it became a fan favorite. Burnett's first experience with singing were with her family. Her grandmother was a trained musician who could play the piano, and her mother played the ukulele. So they sometimes sang popular songs in harmony together around the kitchen table. Her grandmother frequently took Burnett and her sister to the movies. They would take a few rolls of toilet paper home from the theater. The movies she saw in her youth influenced the sketch content in the Carol Burnett Show. She worked as an usherette at the Warner Brothers Theater, now the Hollywood Pacific Theater. When the cinema screened Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train in 1951, having already seen and enjoyed the film, she advised two other patrons arriving during the last 5 minutes of the showing to wait until the beginning of the next showing to avoid spoiling the ending for them. But the couple insisted on being seated. The manager observed Burnett not letting the couple in and fired her. Years later, in the 1970s, after achieving TV stardom, when the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce offered her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they asked her where she wanted it. She replied, right in front of where the old Warner Brothers Theater was, at Hollywood and Wilcox, which is where it was placed, at 6439 Hollywood Boulevard. After graduating from Hollywood High School in 1951, she received an anonymous envelope containing $50 for 1 year's tuition at UCLA, where she initially planned on studying journalism. During her first year of college, she switched her focus to theater arts and English, with the goal of becoming a playwright. She found that she had to take an acting course to enter the playwright program. On the subject, she later reflected, "I wasn't really ready to do the acting thing, but I had no choice." During her first performance, she got the sudden impulse to speak her lines in a new way. Don't ask me why, but when we were in front of the audience, I suddenly decided I was going to stretch out all my words, and my first line came out, "I'm back." The audience response moved her deeply. They laughed and it felt great. All of a sudden, after so much coldness and emptiness in my life, I knew the sensation of all that warmth wrapping around me. I had always been quiet, shy, sad sort of girl, and then everything changed for me. You spend the rest of your life hoping you'll hear a laugh that great again. During this time, she performed in several university productions, garnering recognition for her comedic and music abilities. Her mother disapproved of her acting ambitions. She wanted me to be a writer. She said you can always write, no matter what you look like. When I was growing up, she told me to be a little lady, and a couple of times I got whacked for crossing my eyes and making funny faces. Of course, I never dreamed I would ever perform. During her junior year at UCLA in 1954, a professor invited Burnett and some other students to perform at a party in place of their class final that had been canceled. Afterwards, a man and his wife approached her while Burnett was stuffing cookies in her purse to take home to her grandmother. Instead of reprimanding her, the man complimented her on her performance and asked her about her future plans. When he learned that she wanted to travel to New York in order to try her luck in musical comedy, but could not afford a trip, he offered her and her boyfriend each $1,000 on the spot. Interest-free loan. The man, who was a millionaire from La Jolla, California, wasn't affiliated with show business and had earned his wealth from shipbuilding. His conditions were simple: that the loans be repaid within 5 years, his name was never to be revealed, and if she achieved success, she would help other aspiring talents to pursue their artistic dreams. Burnett took him up on his offer, and she and her boyfriend left college and moved to New York to pursue acting. That same year, her father died of causes related to alcoholism. After spending her first year in New York working as a hat check girl and failing to land acting jobs, Burnett, along with other girls living at the rehearsal club, which was a boarding house for women seriously pursuing acting careers, put on the rehearsal club review. On March 3rd of 1955, they mailed invitations to agents who showed up along with stars like Celeste Holmes and Marlene Dietrich. Such attendance opened doors for several of the girls. Burnett was cast in a minor role on the Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney show in 1955. She played the girlfriend of a ventriloquist dummy on the popular children's program. This role led to her starring a role opposite of Buddy Hackett in the short-lived sitcom Stanley from 1956 to 1957. After Stanley, Burnett found herself unemployed for a short time. A few months later, she bounced back, becoming highly popular as a performer on a New York circuit of cabarets and nightclubs, most notably for her hit parody number called I Made a Fool of Myself Over. In 1957, she performed this number on both The Tonight Show and The Ed Sullivan Show. Burnett's first true taste of success came with her appearance on Broadway in the 1959 musical Once Upon a Mattress, for which she was nominated for a Tony Award. In the same year, she paid back her mysterious benefactor to the day, unsecured loan of $1,000. The same year, she became a regular player on The Gary Moore Show, a job that lasted until 1962. She won an Emmy Award that year for her outstanding performance in a variety or musical program or series on the show. She portrayed a number of characters, most memorable, the cleaning woman. The character later became her signature alter ego. With her success on The Moore Show, Burnett finally rose to headliner status and appeared in the special Julie and Carol at Carnegie Hall in 1962, co-starring with her friend Julie Andrews. In 1959, Lucille Ball became a friend and mentor to Burnett after having a guest on Burnett's highly successful CBS TV special Carol Plus Two in 1966, and having a younger performer replicated by appearing on The Lucy Show on 1966 to 1967. It was rumored that Ball offered Burnett a chance to star on her own sitcom. In truth, Burnett was offered Here's Angus by CBS. The two women remained close friends until Ball's death in 1989. Ball sent flowers every year on Burnett's birthday. When Burnett awoke on the day of her 56th birthday in 1989, she discovered via the morning news that Ball had died. Later that afternoon, flowers arrived at Burnett's house with a note reading, "Happy birthday, kid. Love, Lucy." In 1967, after CBS offered Burnett Here's Angus, she exercised a stipulation in her 10-year contract with CBS that said she had 5 years from the date the Gary Moore Show ended to push the button on hosting 30 one-hour episodes of a musical comedy variety show. As a result, the hour-long Carol Burnett Show was born and debuted in September of 1967, eventually garnering 23 Emmy Awards and winning or being nominated for multiple Emmys, and Golden Globe Awards every season it was on the air. Its ensemble cast included Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, Lyle Wagner, and the teenage Vicki Lawrence, whom Burnett discovered and mentored. She continued the tradition of tugging her ear. The show ceased production in 1978. 4 postscript episodes were produced and aired on ABC during the summer of 1979 under the title Carol Burnett and Company. The productions used essentially the same format with the exception of Harvey Korman and Lyle Wagner. As of June of 2024, Carol Burnett is 91 years old and lives in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment and share. And please click on one of the videos above. Until next time, we'll see you again. Thank you.